guest host, Noelle Walker, helping us out while Holly is on vacation.
Hopefully enjoying her vacation.
Yeah, I'm sure she is. I'm sure she is. She's out west. And
she's up early watching, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, every hour, every single minute. We're also joined by Chris Markowski, the Watchdog on Wall Street. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Our usual Thursday guest here to join in on some of the hot topics of the day, some of which are some interesting financial stories. We'll start first, though, in the cell phone world, where, get this, the Department of Homeland Security is coupling with several of the major cell phone manufacturers to come out with cell phones that could smell, I use that in quotes, a bioterrorism or other type of emergency.
What do they call that? Because, I mean, they have smartphones, so this must be like a genius phone.
A genius phone. There's, you know, are you worried about terrorism? There's an app for that.
It's going to be going off like crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that'll set it off. But it's interesting technology, though. They say it won't be very expensive, and they want to get it so that basically it would come standard on a cell phone where, let's say, you know, you're in a subway car and there's a release of ammonia or some sort of toxin or something like that. Your cell phone would actually alert you. It would have sensors that would sense something, you know, potentially dangerous, a threat
like
in the air, and let you know.
Attacks.
Right, like a sarin gas attack.
And they're saying that it uses the concept of crowdsourcing, so that if a lot of these phones went off in one area, that emergency crews would know this could be potentially serious, as opposed to me doing laundry and spilling ammonia in my home and my cell phone is the only one that would alert emergency crews that something's gone wrong.
Imagine if one of these things happened to go off. I mean, you lived in New York City. You understand this, on a subway or something like that. You think maybe it goes off by accident, the mad rush to get off a subway, someone's like yelling fire in a crowded theater or something like that.
A lot of drawbacks.
A lot of drawbacks.
Well, not only that, but if you get into a New York City cab and it can smell things.
Because I don't think it says caution sarin gas as opposed to caution somebody just passed gas.
or my taxi driver hasn't showered in 6 months. Okay, we got to move on here. It's true, Raina. We got to move on here to out to California, where a woman was posing as an IRS agent and managed to rack up $55,000.
She should win an Oscar
worth of hotel bills because the hotel owners thought that she was an IRS agent who was on some sort of deep undercover investigative thing.
For 2 years. 2 years, and she had the same hotel room. I think it was like 121.
Yeah, the room number was
121 was her room.
What do you think about that, Chris?
Well, I mean, we watch TV. I follow a lot of news. I think a lot of people pose as journalists often. So, I mean, what difference does it make?
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. This is like an update of Fletch, you know? That's all I could think of when I heard this story.
Actually, it was a story that yesterday broke in Tampa, where I live. A lady posed as a psychiatrist for 3 years, as a doctor. They must have some template in like Microsoft Word where you can print out degrees or something like that.
Think of all of her patients roaming around out there now.
All the drugs she could
who've been
prescribed too, as well.
But you know what I was thinking, though, Chris, is back to the story of the woman out in California. This just shows how deathly afraid people are of the IRS. The people at this hotel just didn't even want to question it. They're like, okay, you're with the IRS, you can stay here for free.
Free. $55,000 free. And it's a family-owned hotel.
All right. Well, Starbucks certainly not free. And, you know, in the recession, their stock price went down. A lot of people abandoned them because of those high prices on the coffee. They've done some things. They've offered some specials. Maybe also a sign that the economy is recovering, because guess what? Starbucks profit way back up. People are going back.
Yeah, but what was it, last year, 2 years ago, they were slashing jobs, closing Starbucks. Sure. I no longer have one on every corner. I have one on every other corner.
That's what I was saying. That's one of the reasons why they're doing well. Rather than having on all four corners of an intersection, you have it on two. You cut costs to some degree, and then you're going to do better. I mean, that's what they needed to do.
And now they're saying they're going to go to China next.
Okay, so more of good business decisions versus the economy recovering.
Well, no, I think that the economy's doing a little bit better. People like their coffee, but I think it's a lot of cost cutting.
Beautiful pink couches by our special guest host, Noelle Walker. Thank you for joining us.
I matched them.
In Holly's absence. And the Watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski.
Good morning.
All right, guys, this is American Idol Recap. Last night, I know, I just love doing that. Last night was Give Back night on American Idol, and the president and the first lady were there. Take a look.
We want to thank American Idol for the example they're setting and encourage everyone watching to make a contribution. And to this year's finalists, as Randy says, you're all my dogs.
And Simon, be nice.
Simon just tells it like it is.
He does. He does. And let me tell you, he told it like it was, as did America tell it like it is, for the person who had to be booted off. Let's take a look at that. Okay, we'll have that in just a second. Well, it was a big night, by the way. Just speaking of the charity, I wanted to mention that $15 million raised by American Idol last night.
Very nice. That's what Simon makes, what, every 5 minutes?
Right.
Well, that's a great thing. But the vote was also a really great thing. They did get it right, I think.
Okay, well, let's take a look at it now.
The person leaving American Idol tonight is Tim Urban. Casey is safe.
All right, so there you go. Tim Urban saying goodbye. I think he did like a Goo Goo Dolls song.
You know,
nobody liked.
He's pretty. He's nice to look at if you're a teenage girl, but they must, you know, have run out of batteries on the phones last night because thank God he's gone.
Okay. All right, we got to move on real quick. You've heard about this Iranian cleric who said earlier this week that basically all these earthquakes we're seeing is the result of loose women. Women that, you know, show too much skin or that are promiscuous.
Yeah, caused the volcano, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It probably caused the volcano.
That's what I think it came out and said.
Pretty much any natural disaster.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reaction to this is a woman named Jennifer McCrate has started a Facebook page urging every woman on Monday to do something known as participate in boobquake, which is basically just dress as promiscuously
She wants them to hang out there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right there. Like,
Exhibit A.
There's the
and
fault lines.
B and C, probably a double D.
And she says, look, if all the women dress promiscuously on Monday and then there's no cataclysmic earthquakes, it proves the cleric is wrong.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? I've been coming on this program for about 2 years now to talk about financial topics. I think you guys have found an area that, you know what, I really know my stuff on, so I really appreciate that.
All right, well, we appreciate you being with us. And by the way, for serious financial questions, you can always head to our website, dailybuzz.now.com.